Hello everybody, Andre Devane here again. Last time I tried to do a video for the contouring. Unfortunately, it was removed because of music in the background that they said was actually a copyright problem. So they have removed it because of that. But I'm going to do another one. I've already done my foundation and used concealer in my beard area to hide the 5 o'clock shadow. Now, most people use like an orange. I actually use just a regular concealer to hide my beard area, so that just a little stick that I use to do that with, to cover up the beard area and hide the 5 o'clock shadow, and also anything left in my eyebrow area, which I completely shave off because I don't do the thing where, as I said before, I'm not one to try to do the gluing down because it doesn't work right for me. So now that I've got my foundation on, I haven't done any powder yet. That's going to be the next step. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the contouring that I have here, and I'm going to use, I actually created this myself, cut this out in the right shape so that I can take and do exactly where I need for my contouring. Okay, so we're going to go right at the ear, at the top of the ear. Aim this to where it comes right down to the corner of the mouth. And we're just going to go down here to put on the basic here, so that we know exactly where it's going to go. And then darken it in just a little bit. Now that we have our shape that we want, and that's going to take care of cheek contouring. Then for the second step in the contouring is we need to cut across, cut the jawbone a little bit, make that smaller. I'm going to go right on the actual jaw line. I'm going to go above it and then on it. But notice I'm not going into the chin itself, but I'm going to go under just a little bit. Okay? And then, of course, we got to do wig contouring. So we don't want to go too dark with this. We want to go just enough because we don't want to make it look like we have a separate hairline underneath the wigs. But we want to go ahead and add some there. And then I like to add just a little bit for my particular looks, right at the eye line. Okay. Now that we've actually done the actual stick, what I want to do is I want to take a beauty blender. I'm going to blend that in with my actual foundation color. Because, like I said, I don't want it to be too dark, especially up along the wig line. So I want this to be just enough that's going to give me the outline of what I need, and kind of start my contouring for me. So blend it out really nice, especially underneath. Make sure it blended down. underneath. Okay. And then go ahead and put my Beauty Blender down for now. So the next thing we're going to do is a little highlighting. Now, I use two different methods for highlighting. One of them is actually for just to kind of give me the starting shot, which is a little stick that I'm using right now called Strobe. Now, these sticks actually were part of a set that I bought from Five Below. So it was only $5 to get these. And I'm going to add a little highlighting on the chin, because this is one of the areas the light picks up when you're actually, under stage lights. And the other thing I want to do is I want to take it in here, and I want to try to make a V under the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to take just about where the corner of my jawbone, or quarter of my cheekbone is, down, just beside the eye, take it under, and then down the side of the nose. And then I'm going to take straight down the center of my nose. And up into the forehead. And that's my starting basis. And then I'm going to take my Beauty Blender again. I'm going to kind of tap that in, blend that in, especially where I got the contouring there. Then take the smaller, flatter end.
Once she was cornered by the GCPD, finally, they let her escape. And these victims, well, I for one,
And under the eye.
by their proper name, monsters.
And then up the nose.
Invaded by monsters, attacking our brothers and sisters, and it is up to
And forehead.
you to kill
And blend that in.
who's with me.
Now, just to accent, I like to use, to accent the highlights, I like to use a NYX white, little cake, and a small Beauty Blender, using the tip first. I'm going to dab that in, just enough to kind of coat it a little bit. I'm going to take that down the bridge of my nose first. And then start accenting and highlighting here. Now notice I'm taking this up a little bit further on the chin as I'm blending it in. And I'm going to take the fatter end of that, dip it in, get a little more on the chin and the forehead. Take that over actually into my eyes as well, because later on I do actually use white to make the eye colors pop even more. I'm just going to blend that in a little bit better now that I've got that. the way I want it. Okay. Now that we are done with that part, okay, that's all the cream makeup we're going to be using with that. Our next step is to take the powders to set everything. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this honey beige that I have, and I'm going to go into the areas where I did not highlight, because I just want to get those set. And I'm also going to take this right now into the eye area as well, because I really don't want the eye area underneath to be too light, but I do want it to be lighter than the rest of it. I'm patting this in, I'm not rubbing it in. Okay. Now that I've got that, I'm going to take actual baby powder next. And I'm going to hit on mostly the highlighted areas. But I'm also going to go ahead and hit it on some of the areas that I went ahead and did the contouring on as well, because I don't want it to be too dark in the contouring. So it's going to dull it down just a little bit. And if I need to accent it later, I can accent it a little better. With the powder. My color palette, my contouring palette.
Yeah, I need to find that faster straight. Well, you know I can't help you with that.
Okay. Now that we actually have all the powder done, the next thing we have to do is give it time, because what we need to do is what they call letting it, what drag queens call it, let it cook. But basically we're letting it set. So we need to give it about 15 minutes or so we can go ahead and let the powder set, let the makeup set. And then we're going to come back and go ahead and, you know, just lightly powder off, or lightly dust off all the excess powder that I have on my face. Okay, so we're going to stop this video right here, and we're going to go ahead and let this cook, and I will be back when it's time to go ahead and add the extra accents using the contour palettes. Okay.